Hmm. So guys, I really need you to really pay attention to this, since this is going to be essential. So we need to know exactly what's in our way, right? What's in our way. So we could say that according to what we've done so far, guys. Remember, these are the stages of design thinking, right? So that's what design thinking implies. It implies covering all these different steps, and that's something we are going to do. So we are basically right here in the step number 1 and 2. So we are going to complete the step number 1, and then we'll start the step number 2, which are somehow these 3 steps are the ones that normally take the longer. So that's where we are there. So the first step, guys, which is empathize. Let's have a look at this definition, guys. We really need to understand this, because this is what you are going to do with this interviews and everything that you have prepared. So it says empathy is the foundation of human-centered design. The problems you are trying to solve are rarely your own. They are those of particular users. Build empathy for your users by learning their values. You see, so once again, guys, something that we need to be very careful with is that those problems that you are going to solve are perhaps problems that you don't actually have. So we need to be careful. And that's why it's so important to know more about those people, those users, so we can actually collect that information that we need. It says then, to empathize, you observe, view users and their behavior in the context of their lives. And that's why there is this instrument, guys, in which we said that we should go to a location, a place in which you can also collect information from. Engage, interact with and interview users through both scheduled and short intercept encounters. So every time you can talk to people who is the kind of people that would use your product, making questions and having this short conversations with them could also help a lot. Immerse, where your users choose, experience what they experience for a mile or two. So if there's any way in which you can experience what they experience, especially if it's people who've got any sort of limitation, if we can experience that, that's also going to help us a lot. How to empathize, guys. So observe how users interact with their environment, capture quotes, behaviors, and other notes that reflect their experience. Watching users gives you clues as to what they think and feel what they need. Engage. Users directly interact with and interview them. Engaging users reveals deeper insights into their beliefs and values. Immerse yourself in your user's experience. Find or create, if necessary, ways to immerse yourself in a specific environment to understand firsthand who you are designing for. The best solutions come from the best insights into human behavior. Discover the emotions that drive user behavior. Uncover user needs while they may or may not be aware of. Identify the right users to design for. Use your insights to design innovative solutions. So that's exactly where we are, guys. And that's what we're going to be doing basically in the coming days. So what we're going to do, guys, as I said, I will have a little, let's say, encounter with each one of the groups. So we're gonna be talking about that specifically, how you guys are going to collect that inspiration from. So let me just show that again. So we were here, guys. We just completed this section, which is the section 1, right? And basically we have all these notes, right? In terms of how we are going to gather inspiration. So what we're gonna do, guys, right now is just to identify that, how you guys have covered all these different sections, and essentially see how you guys plan to capture those insights, because that's somehow the most important thing. Who you are going to talk to, what kinds of questions you guys are going to make, and then when we have all this information, we are going to process it, and that's going to help us, let's say, reshape the ideas we have so far. So guys, I'd like to know if you have any comment or question before we start doing this. Is there anything that perhaps you guys would like to mention? No?
No, teacher.
Okay, so guys, look. We said then that if the product is a business idea, right? We are going to have a business idea. That's going to be the product. But now the question would be, how are we going to grade that? Is it going to be just a piece of paper? Is it going to be just a document that you send and then I check it and that's it? Well, no. The way we are going to evaluate that, it's not that simple. So once, look at that. You basically collect all this information. Then you cover the next stage that I show you here. Let me show it again. So you just have a look at what we are going to do, because of course we are not covering design thinking in detail, because this is not a course on that. But here in this first stage, with the empathize stage, what you guys are going to do is this, right? Collecting this information and inspiration from your audience. Then in this second stage, what you do is it's to redefine the problem and understand exactly what the problem is based on that information you collected. And once you understand the problem deeper here in the second stage, we will go to the third one, which is ideate. So you will create several possible solutions to the problem. So let's say you create 3 different business ideas, basically, or 3 different plans for your project. Then out of those 3, for example, if you get 3, you are going to receive opinions once again from that audience, and based on those opinions you will create a prototype. Okay, you will create a prototype of your idea, and the prototype would be the actual business plan that tells us exactly how it works. You may even create any sort of material or any sort of example, physical example of your project, right here in the prototype. And then that's what we're going to present. Actually, we could say that we will not cover the very last stage of design thinking, which is actually implementing the project. We are not going to get there, because that would take more than 1 semester actually to get there. So that's why we are not getting there. So we could say that we are going to cover these 4 ideas. So when we have the prototype, that, in other words, is your final, let's say, business plan for this semester, which is exactly the plan on how it works and all the information you need to explain how that business idea works, you are going to present it in a fair. Okay, we are going to have a fair. Let me just put it over here in the chat box. So this is going to be a fair. But what do we mean by fair? So it's like we have all these ideas, these great ideas, but exactly how is going to work that fair? So every single group will have their materials ready, and then what I like us to do, and we'll see some plan B, plan C options, but so far the plan A is to use a platform which is called Mozilla Hubs. Have you guys ever used that platform? Let me just show it to you.
No, teacher.
And that is what you guys are going to do now. So what I'd like you guys to do is to explore this platform today, so you guys get familiar with it and you see how it works. So as I have this conversation with each one of the groups, the rest of the groups should be exploring this platform. This is a project that we're going to be presenting in several weeks, but still, it is so important that you guys check all of this, because this might need some time for you to put things together. Just to give you some context, what we're going to do is that we are going to create a room. Okay, so as you'll see, although that's why I want you I want you to explore yourselves the platform, because you'll see exactly how it works. But just to summarize, what this platform allows us to do is basically to create, as it says here, our private 3D virtual space. So basically is that as we don't, and this is something I've been thinking since we started the semester. This is an idea that I had when we started the semester. I said, okay, we don't have a physical room because we cannot go to the university easily. Well, let's try to actually create a room, a virtual world in which we can interact. So this platform, it's still like in a beta development phase, but still works very interestingly. So basically, we would create a room and we would be in that room and we can interact in the room. Okay, but that means that we need to make it together. So that's why I will have to do most of the design of the room itself. But you guys need to get some materials ready so we can create that platform. So what I'd like you to do is, as I talk to each one of the groups, I'd like you to enter here to explore the guides, everything, you see? So you guys get to know more about the platform so you understand how this platform works. Here in the very first page of it, you will find some links to YouTube, Discord, Twitter, etc. You can enter YouTube and you will find some videos on how the platform works, you see? So it will be really cool also if you explore all of these videos. So that's essentially what I'd like you guys to do, just to put together those ideas and see exactly how it works. And then hopefully tomorrow we're gonna dedicate some time to talk a little bit about this and basically to raise some doubts or questions we may have. So that's it. I just would like you to explore the platform and prepare any question you may have for tomorrow. So we bring those questions tomorrow and we'll try to solve them here in the class. Okay, so that's essentially what we're gonna do. I'll be working with each one of the groups today, and then at the same time, you guys, as you wait for your turn, you guys will be exploring this platform. Okay, Mozilla Hubs. So let me just share the link here on the chat box, both this one and the YouTube channel. So there we have the two links that we need for this. I will also share those links right now on the WhatsApp group, just in case. But that's it. So that would require some time, as you'll see. But apart from the time it requires itself, I'm sure that you guys are going to also find it useful for other purposes. So so this is a kind of resource that we can use in so many different contexts. So that's why I believe that this is especially relevant in this project. Okay, guys, so is that clear?
Yes, teacher.
Here we go.
Yes, teacher, I have a question.
Yes, mister.
There is an application that is called Second Life Reality.
Second Life.
It is possible maybe to explore, or
well, I think
to...
I'd like us to standardize the use of this, and the difference. I mean, the reason why I believe that Hubs is a good option is that it is very simple, so it doesn't have lots of options. First, so it's simpler, so it has as it has less options and content, it is somehow easier to manage. That's the first thing. The second thing is because this is open software, so you don't have to pay for anything. We can use it just like that. And the third, which is even more important in my opinion, is that you don't need to necessarily have any sort of application to use it. You can use it completely online with your computer, but also when you need to access the rooms and participate in the activities, if you don't have a computer, you can use a cell phone as well. So in terms of access, it's very simple. So that's why I think this option is good, because in the case of Second Life, it requires certain technical specifications in the computers. Especially, there is no mobile application for Second Life as far as I know, and it would require a little bit more of effort, I mean, in terms technically speaking. So this one, even though this is something new and perhaps most of you haven't used it, it is very simple. And I know that if you guys take the time today to explore it and perhaps to try it a little bit, you will understand it very quickly. So it wouldn't be that hard. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
So let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. Let's see how it works. Okay, guys. So I will open the breakout rooms, so you can go to your breakout rooms with your in your teams, and then start exploring. So I would suggest you guys start sharing the screen, and just, I mean, it's your decision. You guys can absolutely decide how to cover this exploration process. VR chat, I had never used it, Daniel. But it might sound a little bit similar. Oh, I remember. Oh, yeah. Well, it's similar, but the thing is that in this case, this is especially different, let's say, because what we do here is to create private rooms. So we are going to create our own room ourselves, and then we need to use all the materials to put the presentations together. So that's something we need to create in groups. So there is a possibility of failure, of course, but we'll try to make it work though. Okay, guys. So that's it. Let's start working on this. I'll open the breakout rooms right now, and I will visit each one of the groups so we can see what you guys have prepared so far, and then we'll do that. Okay, so let's go, guys. Okay, guys, welcome back. So the first comment I would like to make about this round of reviews that we had. I want to congratulate most of the groups have done a very good job, and you guys exactly know what you guys are going to do. And apart from that, you guys actually prepare already the questions and everything you need to do in the coming weeks. So that's very good news. So thank you for that. Also, there were a couple of groups who perhaps required more time to put things together. And as you can see, in these kinds of cases, not being ready takes longer, and that affects the whole dynamic. So that's why we could have completely covered all the groups today, but the reason why there is one group missing is that as we took longer just waiting, it make that a little bit harder just to cover everyone. So the group that is missing, I will cover that group tomorrow, and I hope you guys have everything ready for tomorrow as well. So guys, there are some dates that we need to keep in mind. So as I said, next week we're gonna have the week off. So I will not assign any particular assignment for the next week. But you'll have the next week, the week after that, October 18th to October the 22nd, to apply all the interviews, observations, and everything, and collect the information we need. So you need to program yourselves. You need to book those days that way. Okay, so not the next week, but the other is the week that you have for the interviews and for everything, for collecting the information. That's one thing. The second thing I wanted to make, guys, as I told you, if you are going to talk to people who don't speak English, you can make the questions in Spanish, of course, and you don't need to copy or record their questions in English. There is no need to do that. You can absolutely do that in Spanish. Actually, I was sharing that with one of the groups. There is a teaching tendency on that, and that's translanguaging. So basically, as you'll see, translanguaging has to do with this act of using different languages in order to maximize the potential of communication. So there is no need to force the use of English just for the sake of it. Is if you see that you can use several languages to maximize the potential of communication. So that's essentially the reason we are doing that. It's okay to have some of the information in Spanish. There is absolutely no problem with that. And in this case, it makes a lot of sense. That's another thing. And the other thing that we said, guys, is that if we think about the end of the project, by the end of the project, you need to have three things. First, your business plan, which was this Word file that I shared with you at the very beginning, right? So you need to have that format finished. The second thing has to do with the mind map, this graphic organizer that you guys are working on in Mural. Remember, Mural, this graphic organizer that you are working on in Mural. That's another thing that you're gonna present. And the third thing that you guys are going to present is your oral presentation on your project. So you need to imagine, you need to role play a presentation in some sort of Corferias kind of setting. So that means that every single group is going to create their own room. And that's why I share with you these two links to Mozilla Hubs and also to the YouTube channel of this project. So you see what that is, you get familiar with it because you will create your own room. And as you'll see, you can do lots of different things there. You can enter there and organize the room as you wish. So that's why it's so important that you guys get familiar with it, that you see how it works. So you can later work in that and you know basically what the options you have are. You see, so that's another thing to do. So tomorrow we'll give some additional instructions on that, so you guys are super clear about what you need to do in the coming weeks. But in general terms, these are my comments. Okay, guys. So I'd like to know if anybody has got a question, perhaps about that perhaps we could answer before I call the attendance. Okay, so I will call the attendance. Oh, yeah, somebody? I heard a microphone somewhere.
No, teacher.
Okay.
No, teacher.
I'm glad that's clear. Okay, guys, so let's call the attendance really quick. So we are good to go. Let me see. Gerson Abril,
Present.
Tatiana Álvarez,
Present, teacher.
Laura Arias,
Present, teacher.
Laura Bermúdez,
Good morning, teacher.
Ana
Present.
María Buendía,
Here, teacher.
Andrés Felipe Bueno,
Here.
Camila Bulla,
I'm here, teacher.
Erika Corredor,
I'm
Alexander
here,
Cortés,
teacher.
Yes, I know, David. I'm so sorry, but that was my point exactly. As we took longer at the beginning, it was impossible. But still, we're gonna do it tomorrow, so no worries because that group is also gonna have that option. Alexander Cortés,
Present, teacher.
Tatiana Spitia,
Teacher.
Valeria Fonnegra,
Here, teacher.
Miguel Ángel Forero,
I'm here.
John González,
I'm here.
Melissa Goyes,
Present.
Ashley Huesa,
Here, teacher.
Diego Llano,
Here, teacher.
Daniel Machuca,
Hello.
Mr. Johannes Martinez,
I'm here.
Nicole Martinez,
Here, teacher.
Nicolás Medina,
Here, teacher.
Sara Monroy,
Present, teacher.
Alexander Mutis,
Here, teacher.
Camila Navarro,
I'm here.
Magdalena Ojeda,
I'm here, teacher.
Dylan Páez,
Present, teacher.
Diana Palacios,
Here, teacher.
Lina Rodríguez,
Present, teacher.
Angie Rodríguez,
Here, teacher.
David Torres,
I'm here, teacher.
María Alejandra Triana,
Here, teacher.
Lorena Valero,
Hello, teacher.
Diana Sofía Baloches.
Good morning.
Hello. Okay, guys. So I think that's it. So once again, guys, thank you very much for your time and I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, teacher.
Bye,
teacher.
Teacher, thank you. See you
Bye-bye.
tomorrow.
Thank you.